Banks lose.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it?
I'll take a...
Sports announcer at home?
Yeah, how'd you...
We just know.
My wife picks up the new Signature Wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mixed with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and... she takes the bite! Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only at participating restaurants. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Okay, in case you haven't noticed, we started over. Because we kind of had to. It's just one of those things. Say something, Morty. Let's make sure we're coming through. Okay. I don't think you were, but you are now. And so am I. So, yeah, so we're just going to go straight in. We have some other malware to tell you about, but we'll cover it. You know, there's one thing that I really wanted to tell you about, so I'm just going to go ahead and mention this. There was a payment breach. Well, not a breach, but there was a bug. They fixed it with NordVPN. So NordVPN is something that I have recommended to you guys. So I want to make sure that I mention this one. It was a kind of a man-in-the-middle attack, I think. So you actually had to be purchasing for them to pick it up. They didn't breach a database, if I have that correct. Alright. So even if you listen to me and you use Nord, you probably weren't affected by it because you wouldn't have used this third-party vendor However, we wanted to mention it because it is a VPN that I have recommended. This is the second time that one of their third parties have put them in this position. Their shit's tight. Their shit is tight. But this is the second time they put themselves in this position. So right now, and it's kind of like the airlines. We've talked about this. Like, something happens with the airline, it's like for the next 2 years the safest airline to fly. But still, I'm using another VPN right now. Just be careful. Be really careful. Try to make sure you can tell if you're on their VPN. On their website, you can tell if you're on one of their servers or if you're on a rented server. It actually says on their websites. I can send you guys that link. Don't use the rented servers, the third-party servers. Don't use the third-party payment services. That's all I got to say about Nord. Now let's talk about the coronavirus virus and phishing and malware and all the crazy stuff that's going on. I think I saw 5 different instances of people using coronavirus. Cyber criminals, cyber robbers, hackers, or whatever, using the coronavirus as a scam to get your attention, get you to their website, get you to click on a phishing link, get you to do whatever they wanted you to do. $4,000 domains in a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, yeah. Right. Now, right. Maybe, yeah. Yep. And it was, now this was one of, and I said at the opening of the show, if you could hear us, that they're using old malware, they're using new versions of old malware, and they're using completely new malware. The first found domain. So the first malware hunters, right? And I watch these guys. All they do is watch domain registrations for new domain registrations that they believe are going to be used maliciously. And they're really good at picking them out. I didn't see these particular ones because I obviously I haven't been paying enough attention to them. I'll be watching them closer. But it's an account that I follow, Malware Hunters. So they found, of course, as they usually do, they noticed the first ones. And the first ones that were registered, guess where? Russia. Russia. Yeah. So a big surprise, right? That they're capitalizing on this. The cyber criminals in Russia, state actors in Russia. It could be either one or both. Capitalizing on this crisis to, I mean, they did it. I think they, picked this time to start their little oil war with Saudi Arabia on purpose as well. I mean, obviously, we've talked about this every time we've talked about cyber criminals and especially state cyber actors in Russia. Their goal is to cause chaos. We talked about it with the Ukrainian hacks. That's why we were going to talk about Sandworm this week, but the malware kind of took over the conversation. But, Sandworm is behind half of the chaos that they cause. They don't get credit for nearly as much as they do. But that's their thing, to cause chaos. And so it's really no surprise that they're registering a lot of coronavirus domains, because they can cause trouble in a lot of places. And if you look at the map, the data came out where the countries reported their number of cases. And I think just yesterday or the day before. And there's a whole lot of really obvious targets for Russia there, and for China as well. But China's kind of more of a victim in this thing than Russia is. So it really was no surprise to me at all that they were capitalizing on that. They capitalize on a lot. So that.
It's a data stream. And all the malware you're putting in a data stream so far, they're looking for your financial information on your computer. You're putting your passwords in, things of that sort. So
yeah. And that is attributed, that malware, interestingly enough, is attributed to a financial cyber criminal organization that may or may not be Russian. Some people believe that it's Russian. And I forget the name right off the top of my head. I may still have it open. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Of course. Exactly. And I forget the Yeah. I had it. I actually had the name of the group up on Malpedia, and it's gone now. So, but I had looked them up, and it was created by it's not attributed to a state actor. It's attributed to a criminal actor, but they are believed to be in Russia. But if, it's that prolific on the Russian black market, then of course they probably are. Well, yeah, that's the thing, and it's my crazy theory about Sandworm is that they're not just Russian. That Sandworm is not a different Russian state actor. It's the usual Russian state actors, but a crossover team, most likely with Iran. That's my crazy fringe theory about Sandworm. Oh, you're just being nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like it's what it, like just like a proxy um fighters. And just like it, Hezbollah. It's really no different. Well, it wasn't us. We're a respectable country. That was Hezbollah. They're a terrorist group. Yeah. So anyway, that's my crazy theory is that there we've talked about this before. I believe that there are plenty of crossover groups. The enemy of my enemy is my friend for a minute. Yeah, exactly, for a minute, long enough for us to hack something together. So.
The one thing that's very important, getting back to that email, is I found it in the file. It's called my-help.pdf. When you try to download it, it's actually my-help.exe. And that's what unseals the nice little malware on your computer. So,
yeah, there are things that you can do to protect yourself, like watching the address bar at the top, and if it says not secure, definitely don't do it. But people who create malware and phishing websites and things like that, they're really good at faking these things and at forging security certificates and making it look like it's a secure, valid website. The very best thing for you to do is ignore the email and go to the website yourself. That's not even a guarantee. This is not to scare you and make you paranoid. But if you type in your URL cdc.gov, even better, https://cdc.gov, you're going to go to the CDC. And then you can search their site and find what you want. Or you can go to their Twitter account and get the links that they're tweeting from their official verified Twitter account. Be smart. Do things like that. Definitely don't go by the email that you got just because it looks like it's from the World Health Organization, or the website looks like it's the World Health Organization. Don't trust it. These guys are really good at making things look really valid, and they fool really smart people. So that was another thing. There's so many interesting things about these malwares. There's one that they're using called Cerberus. I actually have. It's old enough that I got a sample of it in my malware class. I actually have a sample. They're using a new variant of it, but I actually have a sample of this one. I'm probably going to pull it out. There's a couple of URLs that they have in there. They're like, don't visit this URL because you will get malware. And I'm going, oh, I'm going to that URL, right? I'm going to pull up my virtual machine, my malware lab, and I'm going to that URL, and I'm going to get that executable, and I'm going to break it down and see what it does. But don't try this at home. So next week, maybe I'll tell you a little bit more about what they do. But it's just really fascinating stuff. And it's not, it folds back into what we were going to talk about and really didn't this week, which is sandworm. Because they do tie back to Russia, because it is all about chaos, and that's why they were going to be our topic to begin with. And wouldn't be surprised if we find out that they're behind at least one of them. Because they are mad at us this week. Because we did kind of call them out for hacking Ukraine last week. Or 2 weeks ago. So they are mad at us. So they're definitely probably trying to do something. Did you have another one? Did you want to talk about one of the other ones, Orty?
Well, they can't, apparently they are mad at chat. But yeah, one of the good things to use computers this week is apparently a company, and I'll link it in the chat, has made a SETI-at-home thing for the coronavirus, where you can use your spare computing power when it's not being used for Google and Twitter and everything else, and it will help sequence the proteins of the coronavirus. I'll go ahead and drop that in the chat right now. And yeah, so that's something good you can actually use your computer for, virus-wise. And in that article, you also see what Shitwheels China is, because they developed an app for testing coronavirus, and it actually takes all the private information off of the user. It data scrapes their device. With the police. It's sharing the app user's information with the police. So that's the other story I wanted to touch on.
Okay, well, they might be able to hear you now. They might be able to just hear me. But we decided that it just really wasn't meant to be tonight. Orty said we got 10 minutes left. Okay, somebody's live. Somebody's playing us in the background. So we're just going to wrap it up. And, we're going to bring you more malware next week. And hopefully we'll work out the audio problems. We did 15 minutes of sound check tonight, so go figure. You can find Orty Packard at Orty Packard on Twitter. And he is here. Are you here this Friday, Orty? You can find Orty Packard at Orty Packard on Twitter. And he is here. I think they might be able to hear you. Here this Friday, Orty? Nope, they can't. So, he's Fubar on Wednesday. And Culture Shift on Thursday. And then Juxtaposition not until the next Friday. And Jeff will be in the crease on the same Friday. So not this Friday, but the next Friday, you can find Jeff on In the Crease. And he is also at Stoner Brewing Co. on Twitter. And I'm Cyberwar Podcast, but I don't know why you would want to talk to me after tonight. So At any rate, I love you guys, and we appreciate you hanging in there with us. Sorry it was such a cluster, but hit us up on Twitter if you have any questions about these malware, because it's really interesting. Or if you get an email, I want it. So let me know if you get one of these crazy emails, because I want you to send it to me. All right, you guys have a great night. We love you. Good night. That was crazy.
We've been shot up, beat up by the falling of the arrows. Yeah, full of deep cuts right down to the marrow. But there's no doubt we'll get out from the bottom of the barrel. Oh, our flag is tattered and our bones are shattered, but it doesn't matter 'cause we're moving forward. Round 'em up, let's go. Round 'em up, let's go. Feel me now, I'm breaking down your door. I'm not speaking under my breath, 'cause the harder you push, the rougher I'll get. 'Cause I'm not shaking when the earth starts quaking.